What we do here is go back.
Anyway, good morning, guys. Sorry about that. So yeah, YouTube's implementing, they have been for a while, this new streaming type of service that they were going to do, and somehow we squeezed through the cracks for months, and we were like in the last like 10%, actually I think in the last 5%. Yeah, I finally had to start doing it because they're gonna make it so I think by the end of this month, you won't be able to stream the way that we used to. Now the one thing is, it looks really nice, like on my end. It's kind of cool. Well, here I can kind of show you guys real quick. It looks a little bit nicer, like it's just cleaner and stuff. Not that anybody cares but me, but it is a little bit weird because it's to get it started, I had to change everything, I had to redrop everything. I don't like the way that I have to put in like the description stuff. There's like a whole video thing I watched on it last night about why it's better and blah 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 blah. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, the Whipsaw is bigger than ever. We did nail another double bottom yesterday. I will post a few things today about how we traded this yesterday. There was some really important stuff off of this trend. So basically, it formed a wedge in here yesterday, and that's what DT and I were watching so close, and we were calling out in real time in the Discord. And I mean, anybody that was following it can go look back. You literally can watch it minute by minute as we're watching it squeeze in here. It broke below, and then the moment that it popped above the top of the trend line, that's where I switched long, and I was able to capture that huge massive run for 80 points up. At that moment, you can see it runs into this so my white lines are more significant. It's just the way that we color code them, but I knew that, again, this is another, and then a double top here. So I literally had the set to sell, and then I turned right around. Even though it popped up, I didn't grab that extra 2 points or whatever, but that's fine because I had to get in and out. And then I switched short, and I played this down for another 40 points and then it consolidated in here, but I got out right in here. And then pretty much this critical line that I have in here that I've been going off to you guys for the last 3 days about is because this is the 2781. It's the August dump. When we dumped in August, we knew this was going to be a significant line, so we added this in here, and I had a feeling that when we got back down here this was going to happen, so I kept it very, very in play. Even though we had other levels that were around it, we knew that this one was going to be significant, so then we played off of it. So as it held this thing, I mean, all night and all pre-market, basically it held this until it just broke here this morning, but sellers were not able to continue as they were probably most exhausted from fighting this, and then now we've seen this take off, and it's actually going for VWAP right before we get into the market here. So that's kind of what we were looking at. On top of that, I'll go into more stuff here as we get into the session. A little bit of news going on. Apple is supposedly starting to see some movement on supply lines again. Tesla is looking at opening another location here in the United States. I had posted that. The banks are continuing to falter and fall. JPM has a nasty looking chart, which we will look at later today, and I will post some of this stuff as we get into it. And let's see here. Let's see where we're going to open. Let me get a little bit zoomed in here real quick. But I also want to look at, because the other thing that I've noticed, you guys, is even with price movement when we were going up, the VIX is still stayed quite elevated. So the VIX is still at a 54. So we're still very, very high. Oil is started to fall a little bit overnight, but it's starting to push back up. Bonds are finally coming down. Gold's coming down, and 10 years coming down. So this is actually starting to turn a little bit bullish. So bulls definitely have a chance here, you guys, to The Bulls definitely have a chance here to take back control. What the heck is wrong with this thing? Hold on a second, guys. I got issues. Issues. I don't understand, how is there music on? There's no audio coming through. Hold on a second, let me see. So, DT, I don't know if you're on here. So, the plan still is kind of the same. We expected to probably see them. How is the music still playing? Everything is muted. I don't understand what that's here. Huh, that's not good that it's leaking over. There's nothing playing. That is bizarre. Yeah, I think I figured it out. Oh, there we go. Huh. It's really strange that it could leak over even. That's not good. I don't like that. I wonder if it's picking up. Doesn't make any sense. See, that's why I don't like it. Cause see that right there, I'd had all this figured out yesterday, or no, I mean for months. You know, right, the way I do it. And it's clean. I don't like this new system. Very strange. Yeah, I'm not sure why it was. So like, it's hard to explain. Well, I can show you guys just to understand, I guess. So we use what's called OBS. And I actually, these are where the music channels are, and they're literally muted. So I'm not sure how it was. Somehow it was like, because it was still, and I mean, I always have it playing on in the back. So somehow it was still. What the heck? Great. Now I can't move any of this. That's cool. Why is it all frozen? Fantastic. Cool. Now this is all screwed up. Fantastic. Huh, weird. Yeah, I don't know. Very, very strange. So the way that they changed all of this, I don't like it. It's way more complicated. It's not. It looks better and it's clean, but I don't like the way that I can, because I have all these hotkeys set up so I can like press mute to mute the music. I can press mute to mute microphones. It's just nice. But anyway, yeah. So internals are still somewhat negative. We opened up down here on the breadth. This probably will start to climb up as it's hitting the zero line. You can see it changes to blue. We did open it up at a negative 2,249 here, down way negative on the ad. So there is a divergence going on here. We are still very negative, and we're not climbing on this as price continues to push up. So this is kind of what Addict and I were saying last night, is that we kind of expected them to try to push this up this morning to try to trap all the bears, to try to get them all out, and then trap the sellers up here and then pull back down. So we are actually expecting this price to move up and then to dump back. Now, when it's kind of in this no no man's land. It's not necessarily we want to see that happen. We'd like to see this happen at a significant level of resistance that we have up here. But this is exactly what we were saying to a T game plan, that out of the gate they would most likely push this up to shake everybody out, and then most likely then dump back down. That's literally to a T what we were saying, and that's how they do it. You guys got to remember, the first play out of the gate is 90% of the time not the play. It's because they are trying to shake like I just posted a few minutes ago about how their job is to make money. That they're paying billions of dollars a day, and so they have to take it from you. That's their job, right? So that's why it's us versus them, right? So that's why they do this all the time. And usually the first move out of the gate gives you a clue as to where it's going to go. So that's why we always say sell into the rally, fade the rally, by the dips, right? Because as they're pushing it up, we can most likely assume that it's probably not going to just keep going straight up. Things don't do that. Every once in a while, yes, we'll have those crazy trend days where they're straight up or straight down, but most likely it'll push up and then it will dump. And that's how knowing the timing of the market. And that's why we keep pushing that. Just knowing these levels is not good enough. That honestly, everybody knows these levels. Honestly, anybody that's professional or has been doing this for a while. I mean, we got these levels from somewhere too, right? Like they're significant. People know this. It's not, it's just when you're new, obviously people, you don't know. And there are people who only use, one indicator, or they'll only use one system, and that's pretty stupid, honestly. Like the market has no room to be nice and kind. Like, I'm gonna just be blunt about it, and especially as you guys get to really know us, like, honestly, this market is pure cutthroat. Like, it doesn't care about you, it doesn't care about me. And the thing is that there really isn't room to be gentle and let everyone down easy. Like, honestly, if you're only using one indicator or you're only looking at one thing, that is absolutely moronic. Like, that's why we're saying, like, right now, the best thing you could do is be trading off of these levels, but the biggest thing is the timing. So you could just trade off of that level. Well, what does that mean? So what? Well, is it going up or down? Is it going to reject it, or is it going to push off? And the timing matters. Is it a 30-minute candle closing? Is it an hour? Is it power hour? Is it lunch hour? Is it EU closing hour? I mean, all of these things matter, and this is what we're talking about with timing. Is that you have to start to learn. There's almost a type of I wouldn't say there's not moves. There are people that have these, market indicator moves where they say it's like, oh, it's a move A, it's a move 1, 2, 3, whatever. But like, honestly, the thing is they're also different. But honestly, once you learn the timing, it's obvious. You'll see that it's pushed up, and then it's weird if you go back and break it down into like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours. And that's why we try to trade off of the higher time frames for bigger moves. But in a market like this, we are scalping a lot. We are using, smaller time frames right now because it's volatile. I mean, in 5 minutes, we're getting 40-point pushes, which is amazing for what we're doing. So, just don't get discouraged. There's a lot of people that are doing far worse than you think. They've been doing this a lot longer than you. So, like, honestly, the best thing you guys can do is if you're not comfortable just jumping around or losing, then sim trade. That's absolutely the minimum thing you should be doing every day. Even if you're not, and if you're out of day trades, great. Then sim trade the rest of the week. And even if you're trading live, why not perfect what you're doing and perfect your strategy and learn? You guys, I tell people this all the time. I paper trade all the time, literally 24/7 for years. I always do, because it's how I learn how to do this. Man, this dump is not. It's too early. I was not I don't like that. I was hoping, but you can see the divergence. There was a divergence this entire time that we've been calling out, that it's ticking way down. The breadth indicators are low, and ad decline has not been increasing. It's been decreasing as price was pushing up. So it's pretty obvious. That's what we're talking about. Why these matter so much more than anything else. These are internals. These are all the stocks. This right here. These three things show every single stock in the stock market. Basically, it shows what really matters. Their volume, positive or negative, they're ticking up or down, and is the price increasing or decreasing? And then obviously this is, the indice. Sorry, I'm looking at some of the stuff for the stimulus stuff. They're not saying anything yet, though. Got a little excited for a second. Man, that dump turned around quick. Not even, 10 minutes? That divergence was key, though. But this again could be that they're going to try to shake people out. I mean, I can't even imagine the amount of money that they're down, you guys, and have lost, and so they're going to make it back one way or another. It's just like with the banks with these interest rates that keep lowering. They're going to pass it on to you and me. That's how it works, right? So the market here is days like this where it moves. It's down 2.5%, right? So that blows through a lot of the expected move, and that's where they build all of their trades around. That's what those expected moves come from. That's why I talk about it so much. And so when things like this happen, it's expected to be whipsaw, and this thing is probably going to be super choppy with massive range. Now, the nice thing is that it's okay. That sucks. That's how it is. So what? Know that and use it to your advantage. That's what we've been doing. That's what Darth is talking about in Outlook last night. That's what Addict and I have been pushing for the last 2 weeks. Is that so what? Play by their rules. That's great. Use it to your advantage. Then just play inside these levels and use this to your advantage. And again, this was, we sat here and talked about it for the first 10 minutes. That this thing was giving you a divergence the entire time. Let's take a look around the market, though, see how everything else is doing. Let's look at the futures here. So staples are pushing up. That's XLP starting from the upper left. XLF, the financials are also pushing up, still down 3.27%, but they are starting to buy back up. Oil pushing up just ever so slightly. The VVIX is up 7%. The VIX is up 11% this morning. So in the 50s once again. Gold is selling just off a little bit, but still just barely in the green by $1.50. The NASDAQ is down just a little bit less than the ES at 2.2%. 10 years and bonds are both up pretty significant. Not as crazy as it has been, but bonds have just been parabolic, and that's that trade that Darth was talking about in the Outlook last night. And that's the one that we've been talking about, and we've been watching this for the last few weeks because we knew that this thing was just on a parabolic tear. And that's what happens, risk off, risk on. And people get scared, they start putting when big traders and big funds say that they're in cash, they don't mean literally cash, dollar bills, paper money. Cash to them means bonds. That's what that means. That's how that works. And they're putting their money into treasuries and into bonds. So that's why we've seen this crazy parabolic move in bonds. But honestly, the more it pushes up, the more I keep shorting it. And because when that thing turns around, it's going to just slam back down. And actually, it's something I'll get into later. I want to post some of this stuff in Discord, but I've actually been doing a lot of research and reading on the bond markets over the last few days. Just because there's a lot of weird things going on. The same with gold. There's a lot of, as gold has been pushing up higher and higher, a lot of the gold products haven't been following it. It's actually very strange. It happened this morning where gold was up pretty good, and none of the gold products were up. So there's a weird divergence going on there as well, and it's also happening in bonds. And I'll explain more of that in detail in Discord and post the chart so you guys can kind of see what we're looking at, because these are the kind of things you guys are going to have to learn to be able to trade every part of the market. You can get away with doing what we've been doing when stuff's like this, but you all know that when it slows way down and we're only going up 10 points a day or ranged and chopping around 10 points, 5 points, 10 points, it's really hard to play what we're doing right now. So then you've got to know where to go, and that's the key to knowing this. That's what's so great about options, is there's a lot of liquid products, so we're able to find different plays and different moves every day in every kind of market condition. Looking at the FANG stocks here, Facebook did hit a high pre-market at 177.66. We're still up 0.86 at 170.95, so backed off a bit. Same story in Apple. High pre-market was 281.91. We're sitting right around 272.11, so we're up still 2.2%. So really nice move up on Apple. Amazon up 1.78%. Did hit a high of 18.93. Netflix up 1.4% at 351.34. Google trailing behind the most right now, just up 0.5%, but did hit a high of 1269.94 pre-market, and just kind of selling off from there. And Microsoft kind of following the exact same pattern as the rest of the fangs here. It did hit a high of 159.75. It is still up 2.3. So Google dragging its feet a little bit, but all the other things actually looking pretty decent, except for they're kind of selling off as we go. So nice little push up pre-market on all those. Quite the opposite on my momentums here. Sorry, guys. Boeing down, wow, 4.12%. It is sitting right just above the low of the day of 217.14. It's just sitting here at 217.80. Roku down 2%, but it had that resistance on that lower Celt. It's just not being able to get back over there. And you can see for the last couple of days. So yeah, basically on Roku, I would be looking at any rally, fade it. That's the play right there for me on Roku. Activision is up 1.5%, and Activision actually was in the news. They had a decent headline. They had an upgrade, but they are up 1.53%. But you can see it ran right into that 30 MA. That's that white dotted dashed line there, upper right hand chart. Hit that 30 MA and just really backed off. Even broke through the 14 MA and the middle Celt there. So it was up pretty good here, but a lot of profit taking and selling off there. Hold on. Something might be wrong. Yeah, so there they go. See, yeah, you're right. Wow, see, what the hell? That was weird. That was crazy. Yeah, that was all screwed up. The TOS was like stuck. I'm glad you said something. Thanks. Yeah, see, they're all down. I was like, there's no way they're all up. That doesn't make any sense. I was like, what is going on? I was like, there's a crazy price divergence. Okay, that was weird. It like froze. Here, let's well, I guess we can leave them where they're at now, but yeah. So yeah, they're all down about the same. So they're all kind of following the same pattern. They were they had boosted up yesterday at the end of the day, and then they've been selling off since then, kind of in a straight line down, except for Netflix tried to make a push up here right out of the gate, as well as Amazon, but the rest of them are all down. So pretty close there. So Facebook 2.5, Apple 2.7, Amazon 1.7, Netflix 2.4. Google 2.7, and Microsoft 3%. So they're all pretty much in correlation. God, Thinkorswim, I swear. See, it's been doing weird stuff right out of the gate, and I think it's just increased traffic, like they've been saying. I know that's been a big problem in that. You can see the bonds and 10 years are continuing to push up here now. So they were selling off. That's where we kind of get that bullish push. But now they're starting to, these are starting to push up, so that is a bearish indicator. So that's going to continue to be something we're going to need to watch here this morning. Yeah. So Boeing down 5%, Roku down 1.6%. Activision is down 3% now, so it's having trouble here. So it's got a lot of resistance right here, like we were just talking about, the middle Celt, the 14 MA, and that 30 MA. So if it can get above here, that'd be great, but it's pretty much stuck right on the doorstep there. Shopify just barely hanging on to this lower Celt right now, but it is down still 3.8%. So everything's down pretty big this morning, except for Nvidia's down about 3.5%. But Tesla, actually probably on that news, but it didn't get the big pop that it's probably looking for. It is holding on to this lower Celt though. Maybe a possible, and you probably could have got a nice entry as it tested this lower Celt and then looked to go up. But the problem is when the market's trending like it is and moving, it's going to be really hard to get long in something like Tesla right now, especially at the price point that it's at now. So that's going to be a tricky trade to move around in. What's up, Angel? So BABA down 2.25, BDU is down 1.89, AMD is down 1.8, Qualcomm is down 2.8, Disney down 3.86%, and it did break that lower Celt, so this is starting to get really bearish again. And McDonald's down $6, which is 3% at 193.86. If this McDonald's runs into this lower Celt, I would have no trouble trying to get long on this. Being a staple, this is something that can actually push up when the market's not, but it is seemingly following the market so far. So, but I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on McDonald's, especially if we start getting lower and lower, and especially if we start breaking these lows. Things like Walmart, Costco, Target, McDonald's. I'm trying to think of a couple other ones. Yeah, some of the pizza ones sometimes, but all those staples were things that people still need to eat. They need to shop. All those kind of things. Wow, Thinkorswim is being so weird. Tastyworks is working great this morning on the other computer, but man, this thing is being super sketchy. I hate that. See, that's what happens because I was trying to move everything around because of the stupid YouTube thing, and it's all flubbering. So it looks like the 2781 level, guys, is going to be it's going to be another day of playing around this. Yeah, so probably going to chop around a break of either way, and we'll have some direction. But as of now, it's going to be, if there's profits, take them, guys. There's no way else to cut it. Man, these are some big ticks still coming in here. Jeez, look at that tick indicator. It's just like straight down. And the breadth indicator is very, very negative, guys. And this continues to make lower lows. So we're at now down 2416. 80 SPD is down 500, 499. So there's one stock in the S&P 500. What is? I gotta look at this. This is crazy. And again, I will pull this out so you guys can see how to do it. Okay, so all you do from your main screen is you click the Market Watch tab in Thinkorswim. Go to Index Watch, because it's usually on this when you guys first open it up on heat map, and you can see, I mean, this is just a sea of red, guys. This is blood here. So it's usually like this when you open it up on Market Watch, and then you click on Index Watch, and then I always use the 100 just because it's easier to visualize. And wow, yeah, we are just significantly red. And the other nice thing is you can kind of look and see like what's the lowest, what's the highest. So our lowest this morning is Occidental Petroleum. They had news as well, very bearish news. They came out this morning and said they were lowering their dividend, and significantly. They went from 79 cents to 11 cents. That is absolutely an astronomical drop on a dividend. So lots of people probably bailing out on that, and you can see it's down. I mean, it's down 7.71%. So I mean, this thing is just, it's been down trending anyway, and then that just definitely was not too good. So the only one that's up this morning is Gilead Science, and I think we all know why. It's barely up, but it is up. So that's the one stock out of the S&P is because of the virus stuff. So it is the only one trending up right now. That's pretty crazy to see like that, and it's really funny because on the ADS-PD, it's the only one up. So volume is decent. It's not great. Capital allocation coming out and in, pretty low. It's been pretty low lately. So that's the other thing we got to be watching, guys, is to see where that's all moving around here. I want to see the top 10 in the NASI. So Tesla's the only one. What? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's Life Sciences. They're up 216%. Wow, there's a big old penny stock this morning. Jeez. Yeah, I saw that one on the news too. They had something that came out about their kits testing kits or something. I can't remember. Let's see what's down the lowest here. Lots of oil, lots of entertainment stuff. Not too surprising, to be honest, with what's going on here. Must have missed the overall market review. Watch Darce forgot to open Nikki before he got on there. They shouldn't. What? Because Thinkorswim automatically saves. So, you guys, what Spartacus is asking is, do levels go away when you turn off your computer? And I said, no, they shouldn't. And he's saying he can't see them on mobile. And that's what I was talking about. Literally last night I was talking about this, where you'll notice that like you'll be looking at the app And some days I'll have all my levels and then everything looks good, and then the next day I'll turn it on, and this is the Thinkorswim app, and then the next day it'll be completely clear, like there's like no levels. And then like today, I could post it, you guys could see that I would click on the mobile app and it would have my levels, but then all of the levels from like above are like all scrambled and stuck down here. So like I have like all my like 3,000 levels are all like saying the numbers right here. You don't see the actual line, but like all the numbers here. It's really, really messy and really annoying, and I don't know why it does that. It's really frustrating. Yeah, that's why, and I'm mad. I don't know if any of you guys heard me talking about it yesterday. Was that that Thinkorswim has been trying to consolidate into just the one app, and it's supposed to be just the Thinkorswim app now. As before, they were just telling us that no, you're supposed to use the trader, the one that says trader, and the other one's bad and it's not updated. Well, then all of a sudden they switched. Like it's literally in less than a week, all of a sudden they're now saying to use the Thinkorswim one and not the trader one. And I don't care because either way, honestly, I pretty much do everything on the computer, and then I just use the mobile for when I'm mobile. I do trade from it. I actually find it quite easy and intuitive and clean. It's just kind of frustrating when you're trying to look at charts, but really charting off of that's you really shouldn't be doing that anyway. But it is convenient, and it should be there, and it should work, right? It's 2020 for crying out loud. So like, yeah, like usually I have everything set up on the main computers, and then it's nice to be able to watch trades or move in and out. And I mean, even like when we're traveling or on vacation, it's really nice that I can get in and out of stuff from my phone. I mean, I love it. Instead of having to go turn on the laptop or go back up to the room, or and then it's nice because on my tablet it's really clean, because I've got a couple 2-in-1s, and I love the iPad as well. And the way that it's so clean on there, it's almost just as good as the laptop. Man, the Nasdaq is just getting less and less volume the last couple days. It's crazy to watch this happening. And that was the other thing I was trying to bring up this morning before I had all these issues, guys, was the VIX has not been coming down even when price was moving up, and so that is definitely something you want to continue to watch as that pushes up. That is not a good sign. It's usually significant that yes, the price is trying to recover, but there's still a lot of risk in the market. And I mean, you can just see it this morning. I mean, these ticks look really gnarly, obviously, and they are. But then the breadth indicator has started negative and just did not recover whatsoever. And the same with the add decline. We're starting to kind of round up a little bit here, but yeah, that was very indicative. But it did not break down this key level, this 2781. So it looks like more of this. We're trapped in this box pretty much for the last base. I mean, we did break a little bit here, but yeah, we've been trapped in this box for the last, basically since 2 hours after close. And yeah, so the last 16 hours. And then yesterday we were just below it in this box, and then finally broke out once we broke out of that trend. And here I can actually show you guys. I'll just draw it real quick so you guys can see what I was doing yesterday. So this won't be pretty, but I'm just going to show you guys what me and DT were doing. So this was before this had happened, right? So we had this. This is what I was trading off of yesterday. So we had this wedge, and this was drawn right at here, and so it was getting more and more compressed and compressed and compressed, and then as it broke, the sentiment leaned bearish, but as we were watching volume and price, it did not continue to break down. And as this pushed up, I had said, if it breaks this line, I'm going long. And so it literally broke, and at 2800 I went long. So you can see that even though it broke out of this, you could watch off the volume and the time in sales, it was not getting. So when this happens, what you guys want to see when this breaks, to follow through on this, you want to see volume follow through. So when this broke, there should have been a massive increase in volume, and this should have been a big plunge. It wasn't. So as it broke, volume didn't follow through, and it was very, very slowly moving, and then it started to break back up on these green candles, and so we were following it, and I literally said, like right after it broke over the 2781, I said, okay, if it breaks the top of that wedge that had formed before, I'm going long. So it broke, so I put in my order at 2800, and boom, went long, and for 40 points. So that's what we were talking about yesterday, and that's the kind of stuff that you've just got to be kind of paying attention to, and and it's starting to form another one. It looks like here, so that is definitely something I'll be looking at also. So see, it could start forming this now is what I'm kind of seeing. And that might not be anything that might break this, but you can kind of see how that starts forming these, you guys, and then it can break to either side. But you can already see this is it's actually forming this trend already here. So, I mean, just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. I mean, levels and really trend is really all we have right now. Trying to use indicators it's just not, it's not going to work for a legitimate bigger play. I mean, you can do some stuff just from scalping on a really small time frame, and that's fine. Man, the volume is just not coming in at all. I'm just sitting here watching it. It's just not moving at all. And we're still at a $63 expected move at 54%. So such a high implied volatility. So it's making these spreads so expensive. Sorry guys, I'm posting in Discord about the levels here we need to be watching. Which so we need to break 2796 to go up, and then that 2828 is critical. If they can get over 2796, we'll possibly get a test of this 2828, and if that resists, then we're headed back down surely and probably quicker, especially if the volume increases. But a break of that, and then we'll probably be headed to 2900. Sorry. Yeah, so volume has been very low. That's another thing I want to see here. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. I mean, and honestly, I just want to see it go either way, but get some direction. It just sucks that we keep getting stuck. But I do think I think I would have loved to have seen this push up higher, to be honest. I would have loved to see it go all the way up to this 28. Wow, too many 28s. 28, and test that for resistance and then dump on higher volume. But the volume is really low. And so, this, and with the divergence, it broke right there. It is forming this possible wedge scenario. But the quicker it moves up, you guys, the better, actually, if you're going short, because then it will resist this and almost for sure, break down. Because now if it breaks out of this 27.96, that's a significant level now, and then test that 28.28, and that's where the real, battle would happen. And if it broke that, we're definitely going to 2900. But if it can't get back over this and we break down, we could see this thing finally get down in there. I still more than not am leaning short to midterm, very, 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 confident that we will be testing into the 26s. I really think it would have to be some big news that maybe trips the algos on this whole Trump thing, stimulus thing, to go up that high. There's nobody who wants to buy right now. I mean, a lot of times, like even I was watching Warren Buffett was interviewed. They had him this morning, and even he was saying, this is why he's been holding on to so much cash on the sides for, the last few months. And they kept asking him why, and this is exactly why. But I think the big thing is right now is that people don't want to go. People are scared to go either way. And I understand it's very sketchy right now. That's why I'm trading very short term for the moment. Yes, I have some longer term stuff that I've picked up because of the price where they were at. But those are things that I am very familiar with, and I know that they'll play out in the long run. But I mean, right now it is very, very sketchy. Putting a lot in on either side, and that's the other thing is that when you get in these kind of conditions, you guys, you got to go in a smaller size. Trying to just go all in and trying to make a fortune is a really bad idea, because you can see how fast this can just whipsaw and change direction. It's so dangerous, and really it's been up, down, up, down. There's no real trend to catch, other than that. But the problem is with that, is we run into a lot of time decay on those. The future scalping has been pretty good. It's been amazing at these price levels, and that's what's so great about it. Also, a lot of times before is your risk is a little bit higher technically because it's not making as big of moves. Yeah, DT, didn't you see me? I posted like a bunch of stuff on the bank thing this morning about I posted all that stuff about the European markets rebounding. It's all. I swear you wrote on it. Yeah, and then also, as I did this morning, because it's getting lost in there, and I understand in chat a lot, especially with people that come on later, I'm going to continue to put the so I always post like the daily economic calendar stuff in there so everybody can kind of see. And the big thing is the times on those, because that's where you can expect some spikes sometimes, especially on the larger events. But when there's something like those CPIs and all that stuff, I'll put that in there in the economic calendar room, so it's easier so you guys can see it. Yeah, no, I posted all the Asian market indexes so you guys could, like I do every morning, and then I've been posting more of the European stuff because of what's going on with everything. I posted the European one, and on it I had said that they had rebounded because of the rate cuts. And those things matter, you guys. You got to look at that kind of stuff, because that honestly, it's going to matter more than ever, especially as we push down into these nasty, especially if we get into a recession type of situation. It's going to matter more and more what global markets are doing. We are kind of running on our own there for a while, which is, kind of how it works here, but definitely something you guys have got to, especially as you get more and more involved in this and farther along, you're going to want to be able to watch those macro events. I mean, that's what I used to always trade. I would only trade macro events. fix that. Okay. So it looks like this might actually be playing out. It's continuing to literally, I mean, it's, it's kind of funny when you do that and then it just goes right along there. So it'll be interesting if he's the same thing as yesterday, except for much, much earlier on, because that didn't happen until we were down into the afternoon session, right, I think it was right in lunch time. So a little bit better now. I mean, we got that same push-up just like it has been doing where it, rips at the end. This might be better because this will give us more time today. And being an expiration Wednesday, it probably makes sense that they're going to do this. Reject. So what was the low on the ad decline? 24.23. Let's take a look at some of the other stuff that's going on here. Yeah, so bonds and 10 years and gold are falling. Oil is starting to push up. VIX is pulling down a little bit. XLF is pushing up, so this is actually somewhat bulls are trying to take back control here. You can kind of see that from what we're seeing on my futures map and some of the internals. The internals are still quite negative, but that could turn around as price starts to move up. And you can see, so Facebook kind of trending sideways. Apple trying to make a push back up here. Same with Amazon. They're kind of leading right now. Netflix trying to push up as well. Google kind of caught up with everybody, but they're kind of doing the same. So all of the you can see as those positive ticks come in there too. All of the FANG stocks are trying to make a push up here. So what I'd like to see is see this try to push up and then get completely rejected and then actually get a big fade off of that. That would be lovely today. I would be happy with that, to be honest. Boeing continuing to fall. Wow, they are down 7.33%. That's down 16 and almost $17. Boeing down today. Holy crap. Ouch. Yuck. Ugly. Roku down 2.5 here now. Activision actually starting to build itself back up here. It's down about 1%. You can see it's starting to get bought up. It did find some resistance on the 14 MA. If it can break out over the 14 and the 30 MA, there is no reason for a long trade on Activision all the way up to that upper Kel of 62.88. So keep your eyes on Activision if you guys want to play an actual name today. I would say Activision, ATVI. Activision had positive news this morning with an upgrade, and they are starting to push up here, and it's looking pretty strong in the face of all of these other names. Tesla back in the for a second. it was green for a second. So Tesla doing the same thing, trying to make a little push up there. Nvidia as well. They're still down 2% though. Shopify still down 3.29%. AMD's down just 37 cents, so they're trying to make a push up here. The China stocks I watch, Bob and Bidu, are both finding some resistance there. Bidu finding resistance on that lower Celt, so they may get rejected here and then start to fade. Baba kind of in no man's land. Qualcomm kind of making a run up here, but a lot of resistance. You got the 14 MA meeting with the middle Celt there, so it's running right into there. And then Disney down, 4.14 or $4.60. And it did, like we said, it broke through that lower Celt. So if they can't regain that, that thing's probably going to just get really ugly. McDonald's still down $5.61 at 2.81%. And a lot of resistance overhead with that 14 MA almost meeting up directly with that middle Celt as well. So, yeah. So Activision definitely wanted to see if it's trying to break out right over that. It's got a lot of resistance there on that 14 MA and 30 MA, but over that, and then there's no reason it couldn't try to make a run up for a couple of dollars, move up there. And then, it's the only one, but in the face of the market, it's going to be hard for it to really break out. So, yeah, that was a pretty short-lived little push up there. It's already pretty much right back where they were and starting to get decent-sized ticks back down again. But, yeah, this trend line is absolutely holding up since I drew that for the last 25 minutes, so that's pretty funny. Do what? Break it out to upside? What about expiration? Is that what you're saying? I was saying that it's a expiration day. It's Wednesday. So I'm saying that if they break out of this, what's forming here, this wedge that's forming already this morning, unlike yesterday when you were, I was watching it and talking about it with you in real time, but it was in the afternoon, and so there wasn't a lot of time left in the day, as opposed to now where they're forming this and there's a lot of time left in the day. So that's what I'm saying, and that's part of the whole timing thing that we're always talking about. That's what Adam and I are always pushing, is the timing. It's not just literally the timing, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. That does matter too, especially with geometrics. But a lot of the timing has to do with, like we knew last week when it was a huge down week, especially a massively down day on Friday, we knew that at the end of the, I literally said it, you guys can go back and look, literally in the morning I said that they are not going to want to hold this into the weekend. Nobody is, that they're going to absolutely get out of the positions. And so exactly on the dot at power hour, all of those sellers, because they had been so down, immediately started buying back in, and we had a huge rip. You can use that to your advantage. I used to trade like that all the time. What I would do is I would look at all of the 25 names I watch, and if something had been down all week and down significantly on that Friday, I know that people are going to take their profits 9 out of 10 times. They're going to take their profits, and so at power hour, you're almost rest assured you can go long and risk very little to make a massive reward on those plays. And that's something that we'll teach in the course, because it is a whole different kind of momentum type of trade, but it has served me very, very well. I have it actually recorded on several trades. I've recorded about 15 trades of that over the last 6 months. I have all of the numbers for it, to the proof in the pudding type of thing. So that is something we will teach, but it's just something to pay attention to, that when we say that, it's for a reason. It's because usually that's what continues to happen. And that's what it is. It's just if something's been down all week and had a really big day on Friday when it's going to expire, going into the weekend, people aren't going to want to hold. So sometimes they'll want to hold because they think it'll continue to go down. But most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, for real, they're going to want to sell and get the hell out of that thing. And so that, use that to your advantage, knowing that they're going to have to buy back in. I hope that kind of explained what I was talking about. I know it's kind of a general statement, but God, I need to go get more coffee, and I have like a Keurig thing behind me, but I have real coffee downstairs, French press, and I'm like, but I don't want to I want to wash this damn trend. Wow, why is my tablet freezing? What the hell's going on? Oh, nothing else is.
Anjali Kamlani joins us now. Anjali, good to see you here this morning. What's the latest on the coronavirus updates?
So we know that the case count continues to increase, and it's really increasing a lot. So yesterday we ended the day at around 116,000. Already today we're over 121,000 cases worldwide. So we're really seeing that growth.
So it's just kind of some of the stuff we saw this morning. So talking about how there was the over 1,000 cases in the U.S., and now we are globally over 121,000 of confirmed cases.
Right,
so that's all it is.
Meanwhile, the death toll, unfortunately, is now over 4,300, and that continues to climb.
So the death toll is over 4,300. Okay. Confirmed. Tried to break out of this. Try to break it. They're trying to break it. So bears are trying to get a push down on here. Still not seeing volume coming in yet, but.
Started this whole concern for the outbreak. So really waiting to see just how the response continues. We know that there have been reports about issues with the testing and whether or not they can get out in time, what the turnaround time is, and how that plays a role in how well we can keep track. Meanwhile, yesterday in New Rochelle, of course, setting up that 1 mile containment zone is probably the first action like that in the U.S. that we're taking. So really looking to see how that plays out as well, as we continue to see what the right response is and what the federal government is doing to help with this outbreak.
Yeah, the government bringing in the National Guard there for that containment center in New Rochelle. You're talking about the deaths happening in mostly 60 and up with people with underlying medical conditions like diabetes. But I want to talk to you about the testing, because there's a report out today that's really...
Oh, there we broke. We're breaking that trend. Now I can see if it'll repeat what it did yesterday and break down and then be bought back up and break through, or if this will follow through and break. So that's where the levels will come into play here. So far breaking it down.
So right now what actually reported yesterday that the CDC has noted that there is a shortage of a sort of like a mechanism for that test. So you have to remove an RNA strand in order to test, right, from the swabs, and so that is missing. And so that plays a role in just how well, you know, the coordination efforts are. And so we
Yeah, guys, somebody just asked me, and yeah, that's what I'm saying is that I think a lot of what's going on right now is I think the way the market is because I think we're kind of stalemating a little bit and it's choppy, more, you know, not really going either direction. Is I think a lot of people are waiting the market, and I think that's why there's such low volume right now on both sides, is that I think everybody's kind of waiting for this whole stimulus news to come out. I think people, they're really curious and waiting to see what they're going to announce. So what sucks is that they're kind of basically said it's not all the way until 3 p.m. So it's like, really, is that for purposes? Are you waiting for power hour? Like, I swear to God, he builds everything around the market, which could work out to our advantage, but it's just going to really kill a lot of these plays for time decay, which sucks. But I do think that's what's kind of going on here. Um, So I'm just replying to Willie in Discord. He was saying, come on, USO. And so what I said was USO is going to be a long play. It will take time to be repaired, I guess, unless you are looking for a short opportunity. So like we said over and over about that, you guys, that USO plays, anything, if you're buying shares or buying out far calls, you got to get super far duration. It's going to take a while for this to be repaired. The problem lies in that absolutely has not been repaired whatsoever with Saudi Arabia and Russia. Russia continues to basically just give the middle finger to the rest of the world on it. And Saudi Arabia, it just keeps coming out with more and more news. Yeah, exactly, DT. And they continue to come out with more and more news, just basically saying, we don't care what you all say. We're going to do this. And it's because they can do it. They basically have literally basically slave labor in their oil fields. So they can do the price gouging and price battles without losing anything. So that's kind of what they're doing there. Why is this freezing? What is going on? Everything else is great connection, but all of this is frozen. What in the hell, man? Okay, there we go. That was frustrating as hell. So those bonds keep they're really kind of this nothing knows what it wants to do. You can just see it's just like land of the chop today. Maybe that's what I should have called the stream. Wow, everything's starting to sell off again though here, pretty good. So maybe that break is legit. I just don't see the volume following through. So that's one of those things when we're talking about timing too, guys, is that timing and volume are very critical, and they go hand in hand. That with the timing, you want to see volume come in, and you want it to come in significantly quick. If it's taking too long, you're almost to a point where you know that it's going to rebound and reverse on you. But if the volume picks up and then it speeds up on the timing, that's when you know that you could get a possible real break here. So still not seeing that volume coming in, and so this is not unexpected. So now they're going to try to push back up over here. What I may do is I will probably get rid of this And then I'm just kind of showing you guys kind of how I watch things during the day here. I'm trying to show you a little bit more. And then I'll watch to see if it can break this, then I will get long. But until then, I won't on anything new. You can see here on the tick map, we are coming into the European close. Let me go check in on that and post that to the old Discord and see where we're sitting. They were up, obviously, on the rate cuts, but yeah, not too much of a change. So down mostly, but not as significant as they had started. It had picked up a little bit. Same with Asia, except for Japan's down quite a bit more. Man, Australia not looking good at all today. Down 3.6, 4.29, and 3.44. So yeah, Australia indices down quite a bit. Been having a rough go of them Aussies. All right, and let's see here. That's messed up. 3:11, 10:22. Mnuchin says first concern on coronavirus is protecting U.S. economy because people don't matter, right? Damn. I get what he meant, but yeah, you gotta be careful when you say stuff like that, man. Yeah, that's a good point. I am 100% cash and no longer looking at swing shorts for now. I am looking potential long to trade a trading cycle low, which may come early. The news flow is horrendous and price is not reacting as much. I mean, that's an intelligent comment, but at the same time, I think the problem is what I had just said about, I think people right now, the market, especially here, I think we are waiting on this Trump stimulus news. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to wait till the end of the day, basically to power hour. And that gets tricky to know where to go. I'm more leaning that maybe we could dump until then and then get long. That would be awesome. But that's the market having to give that up. So, yeah. So far, the break of that trend down would have been a decent entry here. I'd like to see this break and continue. You can see that it had rebounded here. So that will be that same price, that 27.65, I think 50. Oh, my God. Stop moving. Yeah. But, yeah, it's got to break there. So those levels are everything, you guys. That's why we keep doing that. Why is this stuck? So I got issues with my tablets over here. And don't feel good still, so I'm like trying to there. Trying to lean over the desk. Yeah, expect massive policy response soon, and the boys will get a heads up and play tricks to trap shorts. Yeah, possibly. So what he's saying is he's going to continue to trade scalps, but not swing shorts. I understand. Swings are sketchy right now, and it has been. There's the first little break test, but come on, it's got to break and close. Wow. So U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin may provide over $200 billion of liquidity by tax payment delays. So when I had posted that thing about saying they were going to do the IRS is looking at doing a delay on the tax deadlines this year, that's what they're talking about. So $200 billion of liquidity by tax payment delay. Wow. I think that's bad. I think that's actually a bad thing because I think it shows that how bad this really is. Again, it could be buy the rumor, sell the news. I mean, that's how a lot of these have been playing lately. Wait, did that happen last night? Fed performs overnight operation $132.37 billion. Hold on a second. Come on, break and close, baby. Break and close. There we go. Come on. You know you want it. Getting some nice strong ticks for this part of the day. I mean, we're at hour 1 here. Nice. There we go. Come on. Break down. Break down. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, they're defending that 2781 again, just like we have been for 24 hours. So 2790 was broken down, guys. So this could easily continue to break down into the lows here. I mean, probability says. I just still think they're trying to wait for the announcement to come later, but we'll see. So weird when you get like a negative tick and the price pushes up. So bread continuing to be pretty negative here, bearish. Ticks are down pretty strong. S&P a little bit behind, but these are really pushing down in the Russell and the NYSE and NASDAQ. And we're continuing to make a lower low on the ad decline here. Now a low of 24.56. We are at low of day, so we're continuing to make a low there. So still pushing up even though we were making lower lows on all the internal. So that's interesting. Still getting negative ticks. Man, they are just battling over that 2781 all day. What the heck happened to this thing? The other thing I wanted to point out to you guys was that so we had initially popped on that Biden news the other day about him winning that primary, and then it was interesting that everybody blamed it on that, and then it kind of proved last night that it doesn't matter. And it's just so funny to me how many times that happens, and it's like that's why we always say does the news follow or does the market, or it's always the opposite. It's like the chicken and the egg thing. So I just thought it was kind of ironic that he had won again last night and did absolutely nothing. It's because it means nothing. It's just kind of funny. So this will be that third test on there. It's got 20 seconds here. Ah, you little stinker. They're trying to save that on this 5-minute candle here. Go on. There we go. Continuing to make lower lows on the ad divergence or ad decline. Sorry, whoa, it is yeah. Continuing to get decent ticks. Bread kind of flattening out, but still negative. Man, they are absolutely battling over this 2781. This is crazy. Yeah, no, they're not, DTI. You're absolutely right, man. They're not making it easy. Little bit of volume coming in, but not as much as I'd like to see on these. So we're coming in on that 15-minute candle. So you have about 4 minutes there. I would say, though, more significant is going to be that that 30-minute candle going in at 11. Still continuing to make lower lows on the at decline here, now at negative 24.82. ADSPD actually is pushed up. It had a low of 499, it's up to 487, but that was every single name in the S&P 500, so it's like kind of bound to kind of flip a little bit. Breadth continuing to fall. Ticks are flattening out somewhat. Come on, Scooter. Continuing to make lower lows on that decline, slowly but surely. Let's get 20 seconds on that 15-minute candle. And then really be paying attention to that 30-minute candle. And the reason I always bring up 30 minutes, you guys, is technically it's like the lowest that most professionals trade off of. Literally, obviously it's different for like momentum plays and penny stocks and all that crap, but like most anybody that I know that is a true experienced professional, their lowest time frame are 30-minute candles, and that's why it's so significant as a lower time frame to watch, and that's why I talk about it constantly. Again, the reason we watch the 5 minutes, because they're all built into my scripts, and then the way I like to watch it play out on here. And you can see now that where we got off, so the breadth now is clear to see. It is definitely making lower lows and lower lows and lower lows, as is ad decline, continuing to make a lower low. We're down at 24.93 now, so we've just continued to slowly slope down here. You can see the ticks have been really nasty in all the other markets. The S&P a little bit, but they've still been pretty strong. I mean, look, we're still getting a negative 648 tick here, and it's already 1045. Wow, they pushed that up fast, didn't they? Wow, what a big old candle. I don't see any news. Geez, they're really pushing this up, aren't they? Oh, now that was a quick burst, and then now they're actually holding it up. Wow, they are continuing to push it back up. And the first actual turn in breadth and the first flip on the ad decline all day. Dude, why is this thing stuck? This is driving me nuts. Come on. Oh my god. It's weird. Everything's like acting like I can't get into it. Well, it doesn't matter on that one anyway. Hold on, I'll fix this. Come on, baby. Keep flushing. Keep flushing. Crap. I'm going to have to... Oh, I have to switch the accounting, huh? Yeah, I'll have to show him later after this. Yeah, these candles are freaking flip-flopping all over the place. I know, DT. It's crazy, man. And you can see we didn't even get down. The other spots, we did not make a lower low or on this either. So that was one thing I wanted to see. Oh, what? Boeing news? Boeing 737 MAX cancellations pile up and a bleak start. Well, yeah, come on. That's not news. Yeah, this battle is far from over. Oh, do I want to get back in short? I don't like that break there. I do not like that push up, and volume is not following through. We were continuing to make lower lows still and add decline. We're continuing to fall in breadth. So internals are all signaling to me negative, but this price action is just it's they're fighting it. They do not want to take the ball away. Again, though, I think they're really pushing this down or pushing it to the on the time clock because I think it's this whole stimulus news and it's kind of screwing with everything. Man, bulls are not messing around today. Big old tick too. Jeez. I like saying that. Big old tick. So we topped out on that. So 27.90.50. Okay. Man, they are screwing this timing up all over. Yeah, I don't think it's going up to 2,800. No way. I don't think they'll let they've got to first even get over. They haven't even been able to close up over this yet, and they've got to be able to break this 27.90.50. That's critical, and that's been a point of resistance here for the last half hour. Sorry, 45 minutes, whatever. But they haven't even been able to close a candle up over this 27.81 yet. So. Oh, do they sentence fat ass? Harvey Weinstein sentenced to 23 years in prison for sex assault in cases that sparked Me Too movement. 23 years. Good. He'll die in prison. Deserves it. Wow, bulls, that is not good. They were not able to close that candle again over 27.81. That is the line in the sand. I mean, look at this action on that today. It's crazy. All pre-market, right before market opened, we were able to pop it again, and then it held, and then it broke, and now it's holding as resistance. That level, man, crazy. Like Alex always says, the market remembers. Man, spreads just really got wide there for a minute here. So that was a lower low or a higher low. But that is a gnarly candle. That last 5-minute one. There she goes. Yeah, Ryan, how much craziness can happen at that time? No kidding. Normally not a lot in this point, but now, geez, yeah, it's so true. It's been crazy lately. How low can you go? How low can you go? How low can you go? Yeah, we'll break through that low. The only thing that could save that low from being broken is gonna be this announcement at the end of the day. I don't see them holding it up until then, and even then, it might be sell the news type of thing. So that's the one random binary almost event we have on deck is the Trump announcement slated for later today. That's the one thing that could disrupt plan. Otherwise, I would absolutely say 80%, 90% definitely be breaking those lows. Definitely think we'll get through the low of the days, but I think they're going to continue to try to save it up here until the announcement, or then they'll run it up from there. But I think that's definitely what we're looking at here. I am putting off these 2 phone calls. I do need to go on with the student, but I want to hang on here with you guys just for a little bit longer watching this, because this is we're really at a critical area here. I mean, obviously, you'll still be on Discord, but it sucks when I'm like on the phone with them because I'm like doing screen shares, and then it's like my attention's divided even more so. Come on, test it again, and then that way it can just break down. Yeah, exactly what he just said. God, we're getting closer every time here. Now we're starting to make some progress. Candles are pretty long, though. It's crazy. There we go. Now it's breaking. Now the spreads are moving up. Okay, here we go. Good. Because that's how I watch it. Because that's why I watch the option chain so much. Like, I literally have it as if it's a chart on one of my monitors. That's all it is. And I literally watch it at the money so I can see. They changed before that. There's actually a slight delay into charts, and so you actually can see price way faster and like instantly to the second on an options chain. And it's actually if you were fast enough, you could like high frequency trade it that way. But it'd be like we're talking like a second, not even. But like it's a faster, and I've gotten so used to it, and I've gotten better at it. I actually use the options chain as an indicator. And the person that taught me that's literally what he uses as an indicator. He does also use add decline and breadth, but he has a fancy breadth indicator, but he actually uses options chains as an indicator. I want money over Corona. Money for Corona. Get that Corona money for Corona. There is no guessing. No guessing. And it's fair value. I mean, there's I mean, it's pretty easy when you look at it. It's in increments of 100, so you can just multiply and divide everything by 10, or add, subtract by 10. I mean, Irish too get sick pay? What? Yeah, I saw a thing. Even they're doing it here in the U.S. too. For certain companies are doing it, like Home Depot's doing it. I think Walmart's doing it. I know Apple already did it. I think Google's doing it, so that and not even just if you have it, and if you have to travel, they'll self quarantine you for 14 days and pay you for it. What else did I see that was on there? There was a bunch of it, which is actually cool that they're doing that. Dirty Dick deserves it. I guess I'll post it considering it is news. Just hate that guy. Creepiest dude in Hollywood. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying, guys. What Alex just posted in Discord. That's what we keep talking about, is that this level, once that breaks right here, then we get an accelerated drop where volume will probably come in and it will continue, but we have to break and close that candle below here, and then that's where we get an accelerated, and then volume will come in because it'll be a little bit of panic, and that's what we need. Is we'll need that volume to come in quick, and then it'll break down fast. The break up will be a much more gradual break, and so it might be significantly easier to get into. Give him my, let's see, he needs some swords. He'll get some swords. I like using the swords for area stuff. It makes me, it's like our own little emoticon. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. They're not going to close that candle up. They're not going to close that candle. There's no, I can't believe how well the Bears have defended this 27-81. It's been crazy. I mean, the Bulls were doing it a little bit ago, so I'll give them that. But wow, the battle rages on. Yeah, and the timing would have been great. And that's what I was saying this morning. I would have loved this thing just to try to rip for no reason up to 28-28. And as this was declining, and then there would have been a massive divergence, and that thing would have just plummeted down. Now, it does suck if you're already in something, because it starts to mess with some of your time decay. Sorry. I was reading and talking at the same time. Wow, I can't not spell anything today. Yeah, I mean, you can see like how all morning, they were bouncing off of this right in here, holding it. It broke through, but then they were able to save it. And then the Bulls were being able to hold it, not being able to close. Bears were not able to close these candles. And as soon as they were able to, now it's reversed, and now it's on the other side. It's literally flipped to the other side. And Bulls now have not been able to close a single candle over this and bears keep saving it. So it's just, this is an absolute battle today. It's a great thing though to see, especially for learning. And I mean, you can see that it's the same thing here, pre-market or after hours last night. I mean, literally same exact thing. And it was the same thing yesterday. And when it broke up above that trend, that's where we get long, and that's exactly how we do it. And it's the same thing, just the other way now. Sounds weird to say it the other way because it's not really. I mean, it is the other way, but you know what? No, I like it like that. I can see better. You guys, we are continuing to make lower lows still on the ad decline. We continue to make lower lows. Bread continues to fall down. The negative volume continues to get a little bit larger, and these ticks all over the market are still negative. I mean, look at this giant negative tick. That's huge. Big old negative ticks. Anything else on the news? What's going on here? I don't see anything. Man, those are some gnarly ticks for this time of day. That's crazy. It's what I want. It's what I want. Bulls are not going out without a fight, though, man. They're fighting around the world with Russell Crowe. All right, let's check in on social media, and then let's look around the market, and then we'll see where we're at from there. Wait, what? Spreads are weird right now. What is going on? Why does it keep doing that? It keeps spreading out really wide. Yeah, I missed. It was Mario Day yesterday. It's a Mario Day. It was yesterday, actually. There we go. Big old ticks, big old candle. See if this one gets away. If bulls can't hold on to that. We are breaking down that line, though. That's where we're at. So they're going to try to save this, but if they can't, we're breaking down, guys. But break down. Oh my gosh. I swear, Thinkorswim is fighting me today. Bonds are diverging a little bit, signaling. So I don't know if S&Ps are going to try to push up. Still getting lower lows. Breadth continuing to push down. Ticks are gnarly strong. Here we go. There we go. We're breaking down here. Come on. Nice strong negative ticks here too. There we go. Bull, stop trying to save this. Ain't got no game, son. Yeah, it's just breaking down. I mean, we're just continuing to make lower lows, guys. 26.10. Breadth continues to break down. There we go. Let me back out a little bit. So we are getting into that where we were yesterday, into that zone, so that's great. We're down 3.76%, so starting to escalate a little bit. Volume's still not coming in as strong as I want to see it to yet, but we'll see here. Surprised it hasn't picked up a little bit more. It's picked up in some places. Interesting. Well, let's look before I get off here. So VIX is continuing to rise along with price. So that is, wow. The VIX continuing to rise while price dropping, up 13% now. Staples falling down already 4%. Financials falling down pretty strong, down 5%. Wow, huge move down. Oil's down 3.6%, again down at 33.12 here, so that's looking pretty ugly. Gold moving up slightly. Bonds and 10 years are also increasing, so adding to the bearish picture there for sure. Take a look at our FANG stocks. So everything pretty much selling off. Netflix seems to be holding up the best at 1.19%, but Facebook down 3.9%, Apple down 3.4%, Amazon down 2.3%, Google all the way down at 4% now, and Microsoft down 4%. So Netflix the strongest, holding up, but they're all really starting to finally break down, and most of them below significant levels, except for Netflix. Sort of holding on to some support, but I expect that to probably continue to break down. Boeing just getting absolutely annihilated. We are down 24 points now. It is down 10.5% today. Holy cow. Roku down 3.6%. Activision, it is finding resistance still on that middle kelp, but the market definitely not helping. Shopify did finally break through the lower kelp there, so it's down 5.3%. Nvidia down 3.85%. Tesla down now 2.11%. It is just barely hanging on to that lower kelp, but if that breaks, it could get ugly real quick in Tesla. Baba is coming down at 4%. He's going to probably try to test that lower kelp. Might get a slow bounce, but I don't see that being saved. Probably break through. Bidu also down 3.1%. AMD down 2%. So down about 90 cents. So AMD actually not too bad. Qualcomm down about 4.7%. Disney significantly down here, 6%, about 6.89 handles down at 104.63. McDonald's down, wow, almost $9 today. Jeez, just ugly all over, guys. Yeah, still game plan still holding up. We will continue. I'm going to get on these calls because I know both of them are waiting for me. I'll still be in Discord. Depending on what happens, we'll come back on. Yeah, so the plan is still working on it, just like we say. The one thing again is remember that Trump statement's coming out later today, so that could be a point of pulling the rug out. So getting closer to that, if we don't see anything, I would be inclined to take profits before power hour, possibly, depending on what happens. I mean, it could completely sell off, but definitely be aware at least and have orders ready to get out because we don't know if it's going to spike. We have no idea, right? We don't know what he's going to say. My idea would be that it might try to spike and then fail from there, but they definitely could be where they pull the rug out on people's feet. So good luck. Keep it up. Just gonna make sure I'm not missing anything else I was going to go over. No, that's it. All right, guys. Yeah, I will talk to you all